about that. And our team is just so exciting. So I just want to shout out to all of them for the posting and the new clients that are coming on and taking advantage of the December Dash. It's just been, like you said, Brett, it's rocking this month. I can't believe it.
Yeah, seriously. Ashley and I went out on a date last night because I was dead for the last 5 days. I hadn't seen her, and I was like, all we talked about was you guys, like literally, like blowing it up and how amazing you guys are doing. So, since that's the case, tell me something else good. Who else got good stuff going on? Allison, you moved.
Yeah, I was gonna say that there's a lot of crazy going on over here as usual, but a lot of good things that have been going on are that I love it when we have these amazing incentives because, you know, it incentivizes me because we're all motivated by money. But something fun that's been happening for me is, yes, I've had a lot going on. We moved at the last minute. It was not necessarily a real planned move. But all these people I've been messaging and reaching out to and stuff, they never like or comment or, you know, they're kind of the sleepers on my page. But they all message back and say, oh my gosh, how's your move? How's Idaho? And I'm like, what? How do these people even know I moved? So anyway, long story short, people are watching. It's crazy.
So move is what you're saying.
No, don't move. Don't move. No.
Everybody moved to Idaho, right, Allie?
That's right.
Yeah,
Idaho's the
everybody
place.
come to Idaho.
Joanne's like shaking her head like, no, I'm not going to Idaho. I'll go to Florida with Tim and Kelly.
I'll move here.
You guys go to Florida. I'll go to Florida.
Yeah, I want to go to Kelly.
I visited Idaho once, and it was in the summer. Lived in snow as a child. Then I liked it. Lived in Canada for a few years, and it snowed every year in that town that we lived there that hardly ever gets snow. Nope. This is California, girl.
Joanne stayed in California. All right. We just hit 7 o'clock. Tell me one more good thing before we kick off here. I know everyone's still waiting.
I'll say something.
We haven't been in our normal.
I'll say something. Can you hear me?
Go for it, April.
Okay, so I just kind of, tagging on to what Allison said, honestly, my favorite word is a word you use all the time, Greg, consistency. And yesterday, honest to goodness, just out of the blue, I had 3 people contact me. They weren't even on my list, but they've been watching me for 3 years, not like recently, 3 years. And they all want to get on program. So honestly, if we just do what our leaders teach us to do, it happens. But the word is consistency. So I love that. And so thank you.
Nice stuff, April. And are you trying to earn brownie points? Because I love the word consistency. It's good. It's real good. So let's pop in here. Let's see here. I'm going to make sure I'm not missing anything. Actually, while we're doing this, because this is going to be a little bit of a different call. I'll kind of get to all that as I break this down since we just hit 7 o'clock. And a few people will still be joining in, I'm sure. Open up the chat. Where is everyone tuning in from today? It looks like all kinds of crazy different backgrounds, so I want to see where we're tuning in from. See all the West Coasters and East Coasters and a lot in between. All right. Looks like everyone had a good Christmas. I know you guys are on fire here. I actually just made a note of this real quick. So Dash incentive earners, like so far already. We already have new ranks. Congrats. It's December, you guys. Did anyone tell you it's December? Did anyone let you guys know that it's December? Isn't December a bad month? No, it's not. So Abby, Allison, Amanda, April, Barbara, Becky, Beth, let's see here, Carolyn, Cecilia, Dawn, Debbie, almost at 2, Debbie, R, DJ, Denise, Greg, Debbie, Gustavo, Jen, Jim, Kaylee, Karen, Carlene and Mike, Kim, Christy and Billy, Laura, Lee, Lisa and Lainey, Lisa and Gary, Lisa, Lynette, Nicole, Susan and Shane, Sherry, Sunny, Kane, Nicole and Tracy, all new our Dash earners. Like, congratulations, like, well done. I know a lot of you guys are like wrapping up, like being super close. So for those that don't know, there's an incentive right now. Like for starting 5 clients, you just get paid an extra $250 on top of normal compensation. You do it again, another $250. You do it again, 15, $500 on top of that. So go do it right now. If you guys have been planting seeds, like April said, like it's time to go do that. So congratulations. today's call is going to be a little bit different than what's normal. So did you guys all see the list and grab some of the stuff? Because this is actually going to be more workshop style. And I actually want all of my seasoned people, because we didn't like plan like a training, although this will have some really good information. I've been through some New Year's, but know how to take care of it. Like you were saying, like, you know, you can learn some stuff from the people that went before you. So if any of the seasoned leaders, like, be ready to like just throw some insight on top of the stuff here. We normally train like in a sequence so everyone kind of see the flow of coaching, and we'll do one of those at the end of next month. We'll start that because I'm sure we'll have a lot of new partners joining us. But today is more of a workshop style. So I hope you guys got a piece of paper, something to take notes on, your binder, and hopefully, like, do you guys, like, who here likes arts and crafts? Like, I know Candy does. She's like really big on it. I've actually never been big on arts and crafts, but I got really like excited. I get really excited about refreshing my binder and getting organized. And I'll kind of go over that here in a second. So you guys asked a lot of great questions in the chat, a lot of great things that we'll cover here today. And a lot of things, please just come off mute or like go in the chat. April, actually, can you be my official chat watcher today if anyone has any questions? And we're just going to kind of have a workshop style. And I apologize. Normally my wife does this class, but since we've had our second child. So I'm going to do this one today as well as give you guys some more insight on the welcome to the new year. And this is actually going to be good because it's kind of like training a larger group. And there's a lot of people that watch the recording of this that are still coming back in from town. You're either a new coach. So welcome. Like, this will be a really great chance to kind of get this stuff organized. You're either a coach that just like you're on the uprise from this last little bit. You're either on your way to executive director, or you recently hit executive director, or you're like, April, you're on my screen right now. You're a seasoned person and you'll want this refresh because basically it's always good to just refresh. So either way, this will be applicable for you. And I hope to cover some good things, and I definitely will cover a few of those things that you guys had questions on. So number one, congrats. Like, you guys literally like on a great new year, on a great December, on a great 2017. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, drop me a 1 if you guys are ready to take on 2018. Yep, there we go. I know anyone that's like, so what's so cool about this, like, you guys, like, a lot of you guys haven't seen a new year yet. Like, so I'm so excited. A lot of you guys, like, your business is about to change like you've never seen before. Like, you can't even comprehend what's next. So congrats, because you guys have been consistent. A lot of your guys' success right now has come from what you guys have been doing this last little season here. So part one, let me see here. I'm gonna make sure I don't miss anything here. Make sure I don't miss anything in the chat. All right, got all that. All right, grab that piece of paper real quick, you guys. Wait, and actually, before I even do that, I want to show you guys something. Sorry, I want to make sure I show you guys this. I want to make sure I give you guys like examples of something to see before I have you do this thing on this blank piece of paper. Pull up this real quick. Let me share my screen. Where is it? Where is it? Share screen. There we go. Boom. All righty. There we go, play. All right, you guys have all seen this slide right here. All right, there we go. Is it working? There we go. You guys have all seen this slide. Like, do you guys believe it when we talked about it before? Like, how it would lead up to December? Like, we've been talking about this for a month, and now you guys are seeing it. This is what the new year is about to look like. It's a wave that crashes over one step at a time. Like, as a quick reminder for those that haven't seen this, like, December's momentum builds on January. January's people get started, and sometimes people hold out or go do their own thing. February brings the holdouts, or the people that waited too long, or the referrals of the people that got started, or the people that tried to go lose it in the gym. Like, it just keeps building on each other. Not to mention your coaches, your clients right now, they're maybe ready to pay it forward. A lot of great things happen from going all in the season. I really encourage you guys, like, ask yourself what's possible if you guys go all in on whatever matters to you in this new year. I just want to show you guys some examples. So, because a lot of you guys will honestly sell yourself short of what's possible. So I just want to show you some examples. Like, I did this in one of our calls as we finished up copy and consistency, our last training. But like, I want you guys to look, there's no like magic button on any of this. It's April's word. It's consistent. So like, here's an example of someone who was an executive director last year. They were running a pretty solid business. They had about 28,000 in group volume. Their income was pretty good, about 4 to 5. A pretty solid business. Nothing phenomenal each month, just diligent action. By the end of this year, this person right here, I grabbed a bunch of these, so I'll go over. These are like some of the ones I used before. This person was making close to $10,000 a month in their business. So that's someone here on this line. Here's a different example of someone who was a solid just executive director. This time last year, you know, like 6,000 and above, and just made the commitment to go higher in their business. So again, nothing phenomenal, just committed to the next steps in organization and getting better. Like again, the more you do stuff, the more it becomes intuitive to you and all those things. So this person went from making around like $3,000 on average each month to making $7,000 to $8,000 a month. Like this is just another example here. Just more examples here. This person right here, this person was actually a coach and kind of like drifted away, didn't stay consistent, let their business completely go away, kind of fell out of love with it because what you give attention to gets your excitement. They let their business go like completely down to like nothing. And then they decided that, wait, I miss this community. I want to come back. And they did the work. And look at this. By the end of this year, they were like 10,000 in frontline volume. They went from making like $100 a month. That was great, $100 because they weren't doing anything, to making, you know, $3,000 to almost $5,000 a month. So I just want you guys to see like what's possible. So you don't say, oh man, like, oh, I don't know if I can grow, because if you make the decision, that's what's going to happen. So I wanted to give you guys an example so you can be like, oh man, if I just gave nominal effort to this, if I've been doing the work, if I've been playing along with everything here, what can I do myself over this next little bit? So, because some of you guys haven't seen this, and some of you guys have already been blown away, and some of you guys are already ahead of where you guys think you might be able to be financially, business-wise, success and coaching-wise, whatever the case may be. So I just want to give you some of those examples real quick before I went into something. But on that, back to that piece of paper real quick. Because again, everything I'm going over here is kind of like the refresh you go into with the new year. Because every single year, we refresh this time, get a clear slate, create that new vision on where we want to go. So on that piece of paper, this is what I would ask you guys to write down here. You guys can elaborate on this more over time. But where were you at this time in your health, business, etc., coaching this time last year? So write that down real quick. You can elaborate on it more later. You guys are like really good. These are all like looking down right. This is cool. I never listened to my teacher in school, so like this is cool. Sorry, Jan. All right, number 2. What has improved in my life, my business, my health since last year? A lot of you guys are probably like, wow, that's pretty good since last year. April's smiling, so I don't know if it's good or whatever. See some smiles on the board here. I'll give you guys a few seconds to think about that. Like, don't just skip over these things. I would encourage you. This is something I really do. Like, I pretty much spend the whole month of December, like, taking this in, figuring out what I want to do next, thinking bigger. You know, I'm always challenging myself. Like, faith is really strong for me. Like, if God can do anything, why would I diminish what I can do? And then I tie it back to something that I'm passionate about. So, like, anyways, like, just, you know, what do I want to accomplish on that? It could be, sometimes it's just for whatever. Like, one time it was like, Ashley and I just want to make $100,000 each because we thought that'd be cool. And one time it was because we wanted to show anyone that anyone could accomplish anything in this business. And we wanted to give that doctorate. We wanted to literally take down all barriers. And it could be whatever you want. I could tie it back to anything. So that's one other thing there. So number 3 is, what do I want to create this year? You don't have to know it right now. Maybe sit with it. But there's a lesson in this alone. Not knowing where you want to go, you will only get a fraction of where you want to go. Action will take you there. Like, enough action will get it done. But if you're not clear on where you want to go, I've seen so many people sell themselves short or just kind of circle around. So, like, for reals, like, really, what do you want? And you can deserve anything, and it's all there. I showed you some examples. You guys have heard the stories. You guys have seen the stories. You guys know what's possible. A lot of you guys are further than what you guys thought possible already. where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year from now? I like 3 to 6 months goals because 1 month's not enough to really get enough traction on anything big enough to get excited about, but 6 months is totally like seeable and doable. April's nodding. She's into this. Tim, I know you're feeling me. A lot of you guys are already done this. Like, Brent, I'm already done with this. And like, I'm talking like health, finances, all of those things. Like, what would it look like? And again, same thing that Dr. A teaches us in the Habits of Health. Make sure it's, I don't want this. Make sure it's not that. Make sure it's, I want this tangible thing. Not, oh, I want more health. Like, nah, define it. What will it actually be like? Oh, I'd like to make more money. How much more money? Like, would making $5,000 more a month like blow your mind? What if you could take your family on a trip somewhere and pay for it and not have to like take the debt of the trip back home with you? What if you had enough spare money just to bless like a person a month, like $1,000, just something that would change their life? Just cool stuff like that. I don't know, I'm just throwing stuff at you. Your health, like where do you want it to physically go? Like Kelly was talking about taking it to the next level. Relationships, different things like that. Just anything that you want. Like in your business, like do you have like personal goals you want to see? What's structurally next for your business? Go ahead and write something down on that. April, do you think you'd be as far as you are this year when you started last year?
Heck no.
Exactly.
Except, you know what's funny? I found my goals from last year and it just like appeared. And it's amazing when you write this stuff down.
Goals are so important, you guys. In case you wonder, if I remember meeting with you, I write them down. These are all of your goals from this year. There's more, but they're so important that I make sure to write them down. A lot of goals that got obliterated this year, like in a good way. Number 4, why do you want it? There also doesn't need to be a real big reason. Sometimes it could be just because you want to. That's usually my wife's reason, because I want to. Like, it can, whatever. You want what you want because you want it. Guys, like this is cool. This is what we do. Like, this is why this is workshop time. I'm checking the chat here. Billy's with me. Way to go, Jim. That's awesome. Yes, Susan, that's what I'm talking about. Good stuff. I love that. Oh, Susan, that's good. That's real good. I'm just reading the chat real quick. All right, cool. All right, last thing in this thing right here. And again, you can elaborate on this later. I would encourage it. And the reason why we're about to reorganize your binder, this thing should be elaborated on, and it should stay with you at all times. Do you guys know, like, I'm a big stat nerd guy. Like, I love it. Did you know if you write down your goal, or if you make a goal, you're like 50% likely to accomplish it or something like that? I can get the exact stats. If you write it down, it's like goes up phenomenally more. If you write it down and tell someone, it goes up even exponentially more. Like, that's like, your goals are important, because every time I've written down a goal, it's funny. Like, that's my answer to like most people, like, oh, I want to get to this level. Well, write it down and focus on, oh, how am I going to get there? Like, well, doing the steps will get you there. But honestly, it's so funny. You make the goal and somehow it ends up more likely happening. It's just what I see over and over in this business. I'm not just blowing smoke. It's just what I see over and over again. So last one is, so the last thing on all of this is, what am I going, this year, what am I going to start doing to create this? Oh, by the way, congrats on not having a weight loss goal like everyone else in the next couple of days. Feels good to be ahead of the game, right? Or maybe even a finances. Did you know, like, the main, like, one of the, like, I think that we help with like the main top 3 things of all, like, New Year's resolution, like finances, health, relationships, and stress. Like, that's like our wheelhouse. So good job on being ahead of like most Americans, in case you needed like to feel extra special this morning. Anyways, I'm just talking while you guys are writing. The next thing is, what are you going to stop doing? Cindy, good question. So the first one was, in order, like for this, like starting like this new year, what am I going to start doing to accomplish these goals? And then the second question is to that, this, question 5 is, what am I going to stop doing? And the last one is my favorite, because I don't feel like everyone gives themselves enough pats on the back. What are you going to continue doing that's been working really well for you? I know a lot of, I kind of didn't want to do all this today because you guys are in so massive action right now. And if you have been in massive action and not seeing the results, they are coming. Trust me, everything comes from fruition. Did you guys know every time we do Coffee and Consistency, yeah, we have great months during those trainings? Because if you're a new coach, we don't train random training. We actually train in systems, in order, week by week. So it's not just random training. It's it all makes sense. Every single time, that's people's best months, but it's the month after that where the most results are brought in, because it's the results from the work that happened in the month when we train on those things. You see it afterwards. So if you haven't seen the results yet, you will see it. So yeah, I'm just talking while you guys have a few seconds to write that down. So again, what are you going to continue doing that's been really working for you? Okay, when you're done with that, put that on the side, because this is going to go with your other stuff that we just talked about. Making sure I'm not going to miss anything. All right, cool. And then the last thing on that I would tell you is, whatever you wrote down, you thought too small. I just want to tell you guys that. You truly did. And I'm not trying to pump you up. I've always been blown away by how small I'm thinking. So just to let you know, you're thinking small. Not that you're not good enough yet. There's another reason, another thing I'm just dropping knowledge for Amya, is if you are in I won't be successful until XYZ, you're not going to get there. You enjoy the success and how well you're doing at every step along the journey. I'm just letting you know, if you stay consistent and learn and grow and focus on others, you're thinking small right now. Just letting you know. Yeah, Jim, I see your question. This will be posted in the Health Coach page. All the recordings get posted in there. Susan, good point. They're going to stop getting sucked into that. That's one thing I stopped doing, is I started realizing not to react to people around me that didn't have the same goals. That didn't mean I wrote them off. It means that I stopped putting things that affected me and my ability to help other people. So good stuff. There's a lot of good things in here, but I'm not going to read them all because that would take a lot more time. So put that off to the side. All right, everyone got your binders. All right, who wants to do a binder workshop? I know I'm not as cool as Ashley, you guys, so bear with me. She's taking care of the kiddos. But who's got their binders? I'm going to actually come off here. You guys got it? All right. I was having fun going down memory lane. You guys know how good you guys have it now? This is back in the day with our own made-up tabs. This is now way better. And it's way softer, too. Right now, it's better than the days before. All right. Any leaders, anyone you guys want to add anything? Is there anyone that's experienced here? I have so many leaders. I'm talking, and I can have other people Kelly, Susan, I'm trying
Brad,
to see.
I'm going to jump off real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I just got to say that what I've learned from you is taking the time to get organized, and keeping it simple makes the steps so much easier.
Yep.
So a lot of times I get, buried or whatever, and I just go back to the system, pull it out and work it. And guess what? It's so much easier.
Yep. Keep it really simple. Keep it simple and fun. Because there's another thing too. If you're not having fun coaching, you're doing it wrong. That's another thing I always say. Most other things I say I get from my wife, take the time to do it right. Slow down to go fast. That's one thing she's always telling me, because I'm a guy and I have ADD. So I'm always doing things halfway. And she's like, Brad, slow down so you can go faster. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, but it actually does. So good point there. Anyone else want to add anything? Candy, you're on here. I'm trying to check the chat. There's so many people on right now.
I'll add something, Brad.
Yeah.
it is, and I'm victim of not taking the time, kind of like you, Brad, at times with the organization. Oh, I can remember it all. It absolutely paralyzes you. So getting just in a rhythm, whatever works for you guys, but knowing that the system's there. And then, because it's going to start blowing up. If you guys think this December is busy, getting ready and get your, the assessments printed out, get everything where you know what it is, take a little bit of time. It's like if you have an office and you want to leave it nice because you're going to come back and forth and you want to find stuff, it absolutely rocks when you are ready to run. And then also getting, keeping just in organization. What are you putting out there? What kind of presence are you also building? Because that allows you that freedom to know what kind of presence you're going to start building in your social media and in your activities, because you're not worried about what else is going on at home and I can't find that. So it's a time saver. I'm victim of it, so I'm proof that it works.
Well done. Thanks for adding that. And because this is actually a study, it's not how much time you actually have, it's the relationship of how much time you think you need to the time you set aside for it. So this shouldn't take you a lot of time to grow your business. I'm talking at all you people moving towards executive director or moving up above, like Tracy. I know you're chasing down the 10K mark in December. Well done. Like lots of great stuff going on. So let's take it to the binder. And again, I'm sorry, I'm not as cool as Ashley, but who's got their binders? Because we have trained really well, but we've never like shown you. I think that was a request from a lot of people when we talked about doing this training, was like, what does it actually look like? Show us like what your stuff actually really looks like. Like Lindsay kind of showed a little bit because she trained on the binder and some things like that. But what does it really look like? So this time of this year, if you have a stable business, or like if you have a pretty like big business, or whatever the case is, even if it's growing, I know a lot of you just started a bunch of clients too. So you're like, well, I'm gonna think of supporting people right now. I empty my binder at this time. I do that about 2 times a year, maybe 3, because if not, it gets like this overwhelming like clump in there. So I take it all out and I refresh it. I get rid of the people that have kind of maybe fallen away. Great time to reach back out. I'll get to that in a second. This is a chance for me to refocus. Everyone, no matter what, is getting a conversation at the start of next week on Celebration Day. What is it that you're focusing on? It's my chance to refresh with them. My client that I've been working with for a long time, etc. If the client that started last month, the client that's about to start, I'm still asking the same question. It's my restart with them. You ever feel lost with the client? You ever like, man, we have not talked about anything. No, apparently no one ever feels that way, because everyone's, oh, this means yes. I forgot. Okay. So take that out and just go through it. Like for me, myself, like, if you've been supporting someone for a while, you probably have filled up all their weeks of support. Like take a new binder. Like that was one of the steps of today is print out a bunch more of these things when they're printed out, ready to go, hole punched and stapled together. Like I staple mine, you don't necessarily need to do that. Have them ready. Like I will refresh some of my client profiles that have been there for a while. I'll take the old notes, I'll write the new, because they can envision bigger things now in their journey. So, et cetera, et cetera. So like I would do that. I would also take my past hundreds lists. I'd refresh them, because I actually did that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't cross that person off the list. I didn't cross that person off the list. It's time to refresh and to think bigger, because committing to a whole new level of it, because you have no idea how many people you're not thinking of right now or that are not on your list will be on your list. So refresh that list, get reset up, and kind of tee it up. I tee mine up in sections. So like I do one like this, and I'll get to my actual binder in a second. So I'll go slow enough for you guys to write this down for those that have like solid businesses, like I'm looking at, EDs and above here. But I go through my clients and I basically make a list. These are all my current ones, but I'm going to like reassess where I'm at with all of them. Like the first few are like, dude, they're just like on 5 and 1 right now. They're killing it. Like they don't even know any different. But some of them I know have kind of fallen away, or let the holidays, or we haven't been as much in communication, or et cetera. It's the easiest thing in the world to like go build your business. Are you serious? Like, do you know how easy it is to like run run high frontline volume to acquire clients, to bring on people with those people? So I make a list of all my current clients, and I make a plan to like reaffirm where they're at. And then I kind of also do some people that are like maybe like a while back that I do want to work with. And then I go back to my other list, which is my hundreds list. So, but I kind of organize it in tiers. So like the ones I'm already working with, and By the way, I told you I kind of get through this throughout this. So again, someone stop me if I'm going too fast or you want me to hit on something else. But like Sunny, I think you asked, like, what do you do with like struggling clients that like won't get out of victim mentality? You don't have to coach them if you don't want to. Like, I know that might seem weird to some of you guys, but if you have draining, like energy sucking clients, that's taking away your ability to go serve more people. So you don't have to be the pump up person. I remember the first person I told someone that like the person was not treating them nicely and they were also just a complainer. And I was like, good, let them go. They obviously don't want help. The orientation to the relationship is totally off. So number one is you can reset and not have them be, your client can be whatever you want. If you don't look at your clients and smile and realize they are the energy, the kind, the people you want, then go create the one you want. It's so easy right now. You can go create it. Like, yeah, this is all Ashley Miller stuff. I'm just trying to hold up to her standard on that. So with that, you can drop them. Two, with the same notion, if you notice you're like, okay, I'm not gonna do Groundhog's Day over and over again with that same group of clients. I'm going to approach them and see if they'd like to move forward. Like, ask them if they want to move forward. Don't go back and rechange the orientation to that relationship. My favorite thing is taking it away from people, like, because sometimes you get into this thing where the client doesn't, like, we didn't set the tone right with the client. Like, for some reason they think they're doing us a favor, or our job is to like pump them up as they complain to us. We can reset the orientation by asking them what they're going to do, what they want to do this new year. And if you haven't been organized in your client support, or if you've been all over the place, or you want to change your support day, here's your chance to do it. Like, hey, everyone, we're going to start on the new year like this. You're starting fresh. You can do whatever you want in your business right now. So you get to do it. So like, again, it's your year. It's your business. Do it however you want. That's why I refresh right now. So again, it all comes out of my binder. It's all going to go back in nice and clean. Because has anyone ever avoided their binder when it's all messy and maybe you missed a week of calls or something? It doesn't take a lot of time to do this, by the way. So like, that's why we're doing it right now. So start doing this right now if you want. Like, that's what I do. Pull them all out. There you go. So, but the bigger thing is, if you're thinking too much of past clients, if you're thinking more about past clients right now, your head's in the wrong place. Think new. I do that because I want to know, like, you know, where they are. It's really nice and easy. Like, who am I going to spend time with? A lot of these people, I've already taught them how to live health, or they're already coaching. I want to challenge myself to think about the other people, and I'm going to make my list based in like quadrants. The easiest, the most fun, the people I'm thinking about maybe coaching and client at the same time, and then maybe people a little bit further away. Maybe my wish list that I don't have like an exact reach out to. Like, do your list in like sections. Like, anyone who's experienced this, want to add anything to what I'm talking about here?
What do you mean sections?
Like, for instance, here, let me grab my good question. So when I make my list, it's not just all random all over the place. Like, if I have a list here, I'll kind of break it down. Like, if you're getting reorganized, you might as well put it like the people that you're like really most excited about, or the most are your culture, or the closest to getting started. Group them up, tee yourself up for easy pickings. And then maybe like a further down list, like kind of group them in the way you want to go at them. So it's not, again, organizing your mind. Instead of having everyone just kind of like all jumbled in a list, have your list even make sense for you. Was that clear for you, April? I think you already do that. So like,
Hey Brad, can I add something there too?
No, April, no, Allison with 1L. You don't know any of this stuff. Of course you can.
No, go home. I just wanted to say something that was kind of a game changer for me was when I started 5-1-ing my life. Like, hello, I mean, it's crazy. Like, we coach the 5-1, and I always come back to, you know, if you kind of half-ass the 5-1, you're gonna kind of get crappy results or mediocre results. And it's the same thing with our business. If you can figure out a way to organize it and follow through with that and 5-1 your business, then you're going to see that you're going to get amazing results too within that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a really good thing, Allison, and to help all of us remember that, because 5-in-1 for our health is perfect, it's laid out perfectly. This is too. It's just how the business works. And I love that you reminded us about the 5-in-1 in our business, because it just is about doing the steps and knowing it's there and keeping consistent with it, but keeping it in mindset that this is going to be fun. It's going to be changing, and you're going to be reaching a lot of people, because 5-in-1 is just reaching more people.
Right. And that's why Kelly's a global director, because she said all of that very concisely.
You were
Thanks,
inspiring.
Kelly. But I will say that I even 5-in-1 my kids, man. Like I've even got it and I don't have it dialed in, but I do. My mind started to think that way. If I consistently do this, I'm going to get this. So challenge y'all to think about it that way too, in the way Kelly said.
No.
Brad, can I
in the
pop
way
off?
you said, Al.
Brad, can
Yeah.
I pop off as a newer ED? And I'm not one of I'm newer. The thing is,
You're awesome.
thank you so much. The thing is, I know there's some people out there, this December thing is awesome, and it's moving us closer, but not all of us, are getting where we want. But I will say that having that incentive is pushing us forward, making us plant the seeds more. I have people down, lots of more people that I would have had before. I may not be hitting the numbers I want, but they're there. And like you said, planting those seeds. I've got a list of people that are on the fence, but they're there. So thank you for that, helping us to stay consistent. And like you said, guys, about that 5-in-1, you're right. Follow the system. I've doubled and tripled my business. I come to these coffee and consistencies every week, and I listen to what you say.
Yeah. Congrats. And you know what? You got time. You're only I think 1 away from that dash. And you know what? You can throw away that money, because the consistency you display during this time will pay off. Trust me. Anyone who's been through a new year knows, Kelly's nodding intently, So anyways, back to what I was saying, just as a recap on this, grab your binder, pull out all your stuff, get clear. You can organize your clients if you want. Don't spend hours doing this. But again, make sure that you're intentional. Again, this is all Ashton Miller stuff. I remember one year Ashley asked us, what do we want our team to do? Did you guys know that every one of you guys was an intentional thing about we wanted our business? We wanted fun, go-getter people, people like you. It was a thought in our head before you guys were there. So think about that with your business with that. And then, get your list organized or reorganized on that. So here's how the binder actually works for those that don't have it. Here's some little hacks. And anyone else that has any other hacks, feel free to do them. But again, Kelly said, print out those health assessments ahead of time. Don't go try to print one off when you need one. Have 20 plus. And here's the thing, make a goal and how many clients you want to start at the beginning of the month. A good nominal pace is the 5-in-1 your business, like Allison just said. If you bring on 5 clients and 1 coach a month, that's a killer pace. But put as many as you want. I'm start sharing my binder here. Put as many as you want to use over here in the side, in the front of your binder. So they're just there. Someone calls you, you can just go ahead and pick it out. I have my business cards right here. I'm just actually pull up my pen here. Can you guys, is this better? Can you guys see my binder a little better now? Is that better? How's the view? Good? Okay. So here's another thing too. Have your binder work for you. Still, hands down, the best referral tip I have for you today is have a big piece of paper that says referrals when you call your clients. So you're thinking about that when you're talking to them. You're not trying to suck them for referrals. If you're a good service, you'll find out they have people to refer to them. They're not living in a cave. They'll have people. Also be thinking about how you're layering coaching. Don't just coach, especially as you guys get more clients. Don't just knock out the calls. Make sure that you are, investing in helping people move forward and not just making sure you're knocking out the phone calls. That's the other tips. I laminate, so when we're sharing program, we have the health assessment, the standalone sheet here that says the 4 components and all those different
Question.
Yeah, go for it.
What is layering coaching? Can you just describe it real quickly?
Yeah, layering coaching, just one of the next steps in people's health is at some point becoming a coach. So just dripping it on them, finding out what the fit is, making sure that you don't just offer it later on, awkwardly. It should be an iteration of the process.
Okay, gotcha.
Allison covered it in our last coffee and consistency. You covered starting a client and you layered it from the very beginning, Allison. So just layering coaching and
okay.
This is the difference between layering and inviting.
Okay, thanks.
Brad?
Yeah.
Brad, does there happen to be a new recording of a call, like a new client call using the new form?
I don't think there is. You talking about like someone going through the call? Like an example of it?
Yes.
We could check in Simple Systems. I haven't like gone through to see what everything they've updated. Possibly, maybe not. If not, you can go to probably one of our Last Coffee and Consistency ones, like because Lindsay did a killer job of going through what she covers on a call.
Okay.
Good question. So, but I laminate this so it's nice and done here, and then on the back is all the guides, like the different programs. So they're right there sitting in front of me when I want to, do a health assessment. So the health assessment's right here. My binder can go with me everywhere. Super easy. The other thing I do is when I do start a client, like a lot of you guys don't know this, because a lot of your questions that you guys wanted to know today revolved around like things that will make your coaching so brainless. Like, you guys, I'm not very smart. Like, I'm not that like super intelligent. I just am really good at systems. So when I start a client, boom, they go right in here. So when I open up my binder each week, there's no way that I'm missing that person because they're at the very top of my binder. I know a lot of you guys know how to do this, but I don't stick it in the Activate file. I don't stick it somewhere else. I stick it right here on top. So when I open up my binder like this, they're the first person I see. If I happen to see them in there for 2 weeks, even though I told them, call me when you get your order, I can be like, oh wow, they haven't called me. I hope they're okay. I don't have to use my brain all the time. I'm letting the systems be my brain. Does that make sense? You want to have more brains to be reaching out to more people. So that's another thing. Another little hacks here, because again, no one has ever seen it. I cut the folders in half. So like I cut holes, I cut a line in them, so like I can put a 3-hole punch in between. That's the way we always did our binders before for those that are newer. So cut a line through there. Cut your binder in half and then make it really easy and 3-hole punch it. Let's see here. Where do you find the pictures on the back of the laminated sheet? Oh, that's in the documents that I put on the page. It's also in Simple Systems. It's part of the health assessment, the full health assessment. So if you guys are talking, let's see here. Try to keep up with the chat. April, you're supposed to be my chat police.
How you mean? Like, should I interrupt you and tell you?
Yeah. Or just periodically keep tab of it. Like this one right here is Samsung. Yeah, it's on the health assessment. So there's a full health assessment. There's a health assessment with this sheet and one without it. So you can just go to that. It's in Simple Systems, which is a file in the section page of the support page, or it's also in the link. I posted all the links when we did this call this morning. So anything you needed for this call is in that post in the support page.
You're up to date on the chat.
Cool. Billy's like, he never thought about cutting the binder in half. Yep. Well, there you go. Someone else probably has a cooler idea that I'm not thinking about today. So cool. I have like all my past health assessments in here, all my lists in here. It's all nice and organized. This is where your starting client file goes. New clients go in here so you know the ones you're coaching into fat burning. And the way we do this one is coach them, keep them in this. Gotta make sure my stage is pretty good here. Keep your clients in this folder until you've taught them how to update their B-Slim. That's what happens on their 3rd week. That's basically what I feel seals the deal for their first month. I've either like shown my value. They've either gotten it, they're integrated, or I've lost them at that point. But once you teach them how to update their own order, then you can move them forward. So that's when that's their graduating point. When it's like, I know they're good. I know they're getting the system. They know how to update their order. Like, that's how you have easygoing clients. Like, if you get this system down, like a lot of your guys' questions, like, how do I juggle all this stuff? And it's like, most of the answer to your question is get more systematic in your approach. Get more organized. Because you guys are running around chasing all your clients and trying to keep everything in organized chaos instead of just flowing everything. It's like you're fighting the system instead of just letting it flow. So does that make sense? Like, you coach them in here each week. I'll get to all the rest of it. Anyone else? Any experienced people want to add anything to what I'm saying here? No, good.
Morning, everybody.
Go for it.
I'm full PJ mode right now, so
Yeah.
I just grabbed my binder, but this is something I did work on. Something that's just helped me over the years, just for those of you that coach, like you were just saying, more than maybe 15, 20 people. well, first of all, I use those plastic I bought those little plastic things to kind of be organizers. So I too keep like copies of my health assessment, a copy of the Optavia guide, all just like in a plastic sleeve so this is pretty grab and go.
Oh, nice.
But I have organized just because it does assist me, like my clients, I have tabs still in here for time zones because I'm a little time zone challenged. So I start with my East Coast people and I work backwards because I'm on the West Coast. So like for me, that helps, and when I'm working with them. So just because as you start getting into Central and Mountain and all of that, so if I'm setting any appointment with it's like I have them organized that way. So that's just one. I mean, it's an extra layer. It's not necessarily needed, but it has helped me over the years. I don't know. So I just thought I'd add that in.
It's like great minds think alike. Check out these tabs, baby. Yeah.
I also have a transition, like people I'm working on through transition. And then all my clients that have been, because we've been doing this a while, so I have a lot of clients that are just optimizing their health, and they're not necessarily. I mean, sometimes every other month, they're utilizing the fuelings. They've been they order 150, 250, and they're good. They're doing great, and they don't necessarily. We've already had the conversation. Like they don't need a weekly call, but I have them in a tab too, because I still touch base with them monthly. It's kind of just it's still part of what I do. And I don't make that decision without kind of having a conversation with them about what they need. But at all times so I have them in a separate tab. So they're not my weekly, but the second or the third week of the month is usually when I kind of tackle that group of people also, like on top of my weekly support. So, it just helps, again, keep it organized. And so for me, so.
Great tips. You can see, that's why we do this. I didn't even think about that. Susan, I keep my guides to the left of me in my desk, but what if I take my stuff on the road? I love that. So you have a little plastic zippy thing, like a school thing.
Yeah, you can go buy a whole package of these little plastic sleeves, right? So you can put in copies, this is actually copies of a Coach Explorer because I keep them in here too. So they're already 3-hole punched. And so when I need them, they all just slip in here, and I have all my copies of health assessments right here. So I have them, the whole stack printed. So when I need them, they're all set to go. And for convenience for me, I've also printed out a meet and greet and a senior coach celebration. All those documents were always kind of going let me go to the Simple Systems. I mean, I just have, I have them all, easy access really. And I too have laminated, and sharing the program, that one sheet that it's actually sitting on my desk right now. But yeah, so I don't know if that helps people, but these are really nice because you can just stick your guides in these and have them with you in the back of your binder.
The chat seems to think that people liked it, and if they didn't, I liked it. I'm gonna start doing it. I do have, what's funny is I have them sitting to the right of me on my desk, but I can do that because again, same thing, because you need them, have them printed out. That's really good because again, I'm not gonna go down that stuff. We'll get to more of that kind of stuff on our next training, but I love the transition guide. I definitely coach my clients through transition and into their next program. But after you've taught them, you don't need to call them every single week, seeing how they're doing. You've taught them how to live health. They should be coaching by now. So good stuff. And also for time zones, you also have sometimes have people I kind of have it by time zone, but it's also I have clients that are retired, and it's well, I can call them the same time I'm calling my East Coasters because that time works better. Or my night shift nurse, I call them before they go on their night shift. So you just kind of get your flow, it's right there, and you just pick up and start just calling through your list in order. That's super helpful. I love the tabs, and I love the transition tab, Susan. Super good.
And I'll take it one. I mean, this is, and I'm not a system. Brad knows this. Systems are actually the thing I resist the most, but I know what you want the most is usually right on the other side of what you're resisting most. So it's I have to embrace the structure to create what I want. And I had a big goal to what I wanted to create this month. So it's like, where do I go? I go get my systems in order so I can go create it. Is in that first folder. I actually have tabs for days 1 through 4 too. Like, because, and it just makes me visit my binder every day. And that's other than on my client celebration day, every other day I'm going there and I move people through the system, because right now, like, our goal is to start, 15 to 20 clients this month. So if I'm coaching 20, all around the same time, it's like, I need to confirm where they are. So I'm checking in people day 1, day 2, and adding the appropriate information. So that's like one extra, OCD step. But if it serves somebody or that helps them keep that part organized, there you go.
That is spot on. I recommend it. I'll see your OCD and raise you another one. What I do for my clients in days 1 through 4, I actually put them in so that like the rings go up one. So like, let me actually put one in real quick. Like,
I love that.
so like when I look at my binder, they're sticking up at me so I can see their name. So like when I put them in, I put them up like this. So my clients on days 1 through 4 look at me like this.
Ah, that's good. Okay, you win. I'll turn in my hand or whatever. I fold.
It's a tie. It's a tie. Is this helpful for you guys? Because you guys have always kind of wondered, like, how do you guys really work your binders? Like, how do you make it super simple? So this is how. Like, this is the organizing setup. So Wendy loves it. Ron loves it. Ron, you happy? Ron's happy. When we were in Hawaii, Ron went and kept checking to see if everyone was happy. Anyways, that's off topic. So anyways, that's everything right here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The last thing is, you guys, maps and working with your support team and plugging into trainings and being on your health journey. Like, it's the same thing every single time that works for your business. There is no secrets. Like, it really is. So like, use your map. You're going to use them every single month. Print off at least like 12 or 20. Put them in the back of your folder here. There's a nice little clipboard thing. I put them back there and I save all of my other ones. You know how cool it is to go back and be like, wow, that's where I was in January last year? Way cool. So yeah, save it. That's super key. And then that way, at the beginning of the month, again, you're not having to, like, you can see the time thinking. You're just grabbing and going. Like, you're set up. You're like all that stuff. So print off the extra maps, do them. That's the other key thing right there. Anyone else? Anything else I'm missing? That pretty much wraps up the binder basics. Anything else? Kelly's nodding. She likes it.
Hey, Brad, I'll go.
Yeah, go for it.
So I decided, it has been wild this month. I have never had so many calls. So I did a follow-up binder. And it's just been great. I still use my other Optavia, but I really needed this because I've actually done like a spreadsheet. Thanks to Elizabeth. She's amazing with that. And I just put on there the people that I needed to connect with. So I had everybody in one spot. And I've been highlighting them. But what I did also is I did some tabs back here that's like hot, medium, and cold. So I've just been putting everybody there. But I'll go one step further. What I told my team I've been very intentional on that's really working is I'm going to their page. I'm commenting on their pictures. I'm sending them recipes. So I know that when I need to really take time and work on that, I pull out this binder. I'm getting super intentional with that time frame I have, and I'm just going right at the people that are on my list.
I love that. So like, that's actually what Ashley does too. She keeps it in a separate binder because it's so massive growing, and then you've got it even broken down. So again, like, there's like slightly different variations. The cool thing, this is just like everything we teach. The same systems work. Feel free to add your own little sprinkle flair to it that works a little bit better for you, but follow the systems. It's all done for you. I love that. Anything that's been super helpful for you on that, Carlene? Because you did Dash this month and you've had a lot of stuff going on. Like, anything that's working particularly for you on that?
I think it's really like being super intentional with writing down like who you're talking to. Like, that's what I really told my team this month is like really just have every single name, really make sure you're checking your PMs. You've got everybody written down, but taking time to really devote to those people. They've reached out to you for a reason. They're hungry. They need this. And if you take that extra bit of time, instead of, we get so busy sometimes doing work that we don't need to do. When you're looking to help people to get healthy, you need to reach back out to the ones that are reaching to you. And that is like really staying connected with them on Facebook, letting them know that you're thinking of them. How was your Christmas? Liking their pictures. Like, it's taking the time with those who are reaching out. And sometimes we're looking for all these other people,
But obviously these people reached out to us for a reason. And if you take that time to finish out the month strong, these next 2 days, look back in your PM, see who's reached out to you, and take that time to send them some recipes. How was your Christmas? Writing on their pictures, like get super intentional with those people because they're obviously looking for help right now.
Yeah, good, really good point. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. So did that give you guys some helpful stuff on how to like, you guys are like motivated, like, cause it's like, it's go time. I mean, you guys are like, it's already past go time. We're already started. So this next little bit, that's what I would recommend. And then literally over this next little bit, go obliterate your business, potential clients, current ones refresh, maybe regrabbing some old referrals. Talk about referral credits. Like you can actually like this time of year, like do something fun, maybe offer a double referral credit, something where you can acquire as many people as you want besides the normal action. I'll get into that into a second because that's what it all comes back to. But that's what to be doing right now. And then I'll get to the schedules. The last part right now is you guys, so you have your map. Obviously, you know on what you guys are doing to finish the month. We have 2 days left in 2017. So what I would encourage you guys to do right now, in the midst of getting all this set up, is just keep doing your action, but maybe write down the last few things. Like there are a few things that need to be wrapped up in your business this month. Write down what those things are so they can be taken care of. You can enjoy New Year's, and then get back in to like massive action, like you can already see that's going on here with these things. Grab your new map, because again, if I haven't planted the standard in this for a while, do your map at the end, the last day of every single month. Like you guys know how to do that. We all know how many days there are in a month. Plan your month to finish up before. Enjoy your smiley faces. Spend the last day planning and setting up. Quick caveat though, I'm gonna share my screen real quick and show you guys some Optavia Connect stuff real quick, because I know you guys, some people have had some questions, and I will do a further training on this in the future. But you with the update they still need to do in the new Optavia Connect, you can't see your projected B-Slims until January 1st. So let me show you guys what to go do on that. So I would do everything on your map up until that point. Like you'll be all good to go and you can be mostly focused on acquiring clients. But let me share my screen real quick. So in Optavia Connect, for those, let's see here, you go to, everyone's in the way here, client support. And then go to client orders. For those that didn't know how to do this, this is the new way of checking your B-Slim report. So it's now Premier is what the account's called. So projected Optavia Premier. That's what you'll click on to look up your B-Slims in your organization, and then you just click and organize it by date. That's the same way to get what we've done before. Did anyone have any questions on that? Like I see some serious stares at the screen. Check the chat.
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah. All righty. So this is what it'll look like since the new Optavia Connect's there. So you go to run your report, because from now you don't need to set the dates and like change different dates around like we did before. Everything reports in a month, like the way it always should have. Currently, you can't look up a future month with Premier orders, but you will soon. They're fixing some last few things. But if you go over here and click on client support, then go down to client orders and then projected Optavia Premier on the 1st of January, and then organize it by, all you have to do to be able to look up anyone's, yourselves or anyone else's, go over to business coach ID number. And just type in your number under the filter. Or so go to filter and then type in your number. So 142438801 for those that want to know my ID. And these are how many B-Slims we have, or old habits. These are how many Premiers we have left to go before the end of the month. And then you can just go ahead and organize it by processing date. Is that slower enough, Kaylee?
Yes, thank you so much.
Sorry, sometimes I talk fast. So that's what to do right now. So again, like a lot of people have kind of asked me, like, what do I do? And it's like, they're just kind of lost because the platform's a little different. It's like we do the same thing we always do. So I would grab that map get all your stuff set up, finish up this month strong, be in mass. I would do the refresh action that we just talked about. It's open season time. Set up time to just reach out to people, to like talk with people, to follow up, to invite them, to talk to your clients. That's what this next week and this next month is all about. Figure out where you want to be at, because it's open season. Like literally just looking at my list, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so easy. I don't have to do anything except just check back with people, and it'll be like Zongo frontline volume. It's simple. So I'm losing my voice again. So what I would do on it is fill out that map and reach out to your support team and grab a time. Don't lose the basics. The basics of everyone that grows is they do their map, they have their structure, they work closely with their support team. So if you're right here right now, don't go do anything after this call until you say, hey, grab a time with your support team, and just double check maybe some of those things that you got a bigger vision on in your goals for this year. Some of the things you want to accomplish this month because it's go time. Maybe ask a little bit more what's possible. And it doesn't take a lot of time to do that meeting, so just set that up so you guys can go rock it at the beginning of this month and maybe work with some of your new coaches that are coming on. That'll be really key there. So anything else, like any of the experience people want to add on here?
Brad, it's Denise. I've got a question.
Go for it.
So those of us that like to do our map on the 30th and get it to you and want your first appointment on the 1st, we just fill out where we're at, where we want to be. And then on the 1st, we'll go back and put our premier orders in then.
Yeah, fill out your potential client list, like all the rest of it. Like, you know all that stuff. It's basically going and acquiring it right now anyway. So we can fill that all in later. Yeah. I mean, because again, if I haven't refreshed it, we will refresh all the stuff. You don't report the map. The map's not something you report. You don't owe your support team a map. It's just the tool you use. Like, that's the tool that people use when they're growing. Like, if I came with something that I want to be successful, I'd be like, show me what the people that are being successful do. Every single person that grows the fastest, does the best, uses these systems, uses the map. I've only had one person in the last 2 years go executive director without a map. And it was because they lost over 100 pounds and they didn't last at executive director very long, and they don't even hit senior coach anymore. So just some insight for you. Like, I'll always show you the stuff that works for people to keep it really easy. So back to these last few things, you guys, just for organizing. So back to maybe that paper you wrote, what you want to create this year, or maybe a notepad. These are the things on top of cleaning out your binder. Like, hopefully you took down those points. Okay, clean out the binder, get those things set, refresh my clients, refresh my contact list. You're just gonna go back into the normal daily action, but you'll be there with organized, reset up, like you're good to go, like as much as you want. If you don't have these things in, or maybe you want to change it, or whatever the case may be, make sure you have these things set up for success. So your schedule. Here's another thing that people have that are growing. If you don't have it, that's just one of usually the first things that are off. So make sure you have a check-in day. Back to Susan and the tabs. If you do 2 check-in days, like to kind of divide it up, you can do 2 tabs to kind of break that up. I find that most people can get it done in one. I mean, unless you're like supporting like a massive amount of clients, you can actually get them all done in one day. And I would encourage that. Or else it feels like you're supporting your clients all week long. It feels like long and exhausting. It feels like you're never caught up. So pick one day. I pick Tuesdays. It works great for me. And to answer some of your questions that you guys brought up in the chat, hey, how do I get a hold of my clients better? Or how do I like coach my clients? How do I stay? If you're coaching them randomly, if you're not in a good sequence of leading them with a check-in day and letting them know how it's going to go, that's probably why, like a little bit of it. Like, so making sure that you let people know when your check-in day is, having that check-in day, showing up to that check-in day. Like, your clients will answer the phone because you told them it's that check-in day. They know you're calling. They'll answer. It works beautiful. It's like clockwork. The people that are like, oh, my clients never answer, I usually like, oh, do you have a check-in day? And they're like, no, I just call my clients randomly. Well, of course not. Like, do you answer the phone when you get random phone calls most of the time? Heck no, like, you don't. So again, and then just leading people with structure, making sure you know how that's going to go. So hopefully those are some things that have kind of help you with those things with coaching your clients. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like from the questions I asked. Anything else? Let's see here. Should my map, type organization. Anyone want to add anything while I'm catching up on the chat real quick? Callie, Denise, Susan.
Yeah, I've been watching the chat. Everybody's really happy too, but I think the check-in day is key. I found in mid-year, in this year we're wrapping up, I had gotten wobbly on that, and it showed in my clients not engaging as well. And I focused on having a day and getting it in, and all of a sudden my clients were actually calling me if the time had gotten a little off, things like that. So it's really, it's amazing with that client support on the schedule. One of those is such a foundation if you can put in your business, because when your clients know that you're going to call, they actually sometimes anticipate it and be like, oh my gosh, I have something to celebrate, and they beat you to it. And that's where the interaction and the support becomes such a great relationship builder. So again, just having that one day, I mean, this is what we get to do. This is what we get to do, is help these people. So showing up on a regular basis, because we said we would, is so key in building that relationship. And that's where you find your new partners, because people love that. They love to be listened to. We know, they love to be heard. They love to be celebrated. So why shortchange them on that because of busyness? And I was caught in that a little bit in the summer myself. So, you have to really do that for yourself, because that's what we say we're going to do, and everybody wins. So that's what I would really build into that.
Good reminder. That's what I see too. When I'm wobbly on that, you can kind of see the wobbly showing up. So I was just reading the chat here. So Sunny, yes, with what I was showing you, I'll go back through this real quick. That's what I was doing with the projected premiere. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen here, but hold on. So right here, Sunny, on your question of like, how do you run it? So you just see just your organization. What I did is you go over here and you go to business coach ID. You type in yours or anyone on your team. Like if you want to be like, I wonder how many more clients this coach on my team has, because you're helping them grow their business as they're learning. You type in whatever ID number, it'll show you just that ID number's premier orders and what they have left for the month. And yes, you only put your orders on your map. That's for you. So we'll get more into that training when we get in later, more details that come on that. But back to the things that did that answer your question, Sunny?
And Brad, can I jump in just for a second? Because we've got a lot of newer coaches on.
Yep.
The map is something that you start using with your mentor when you're senior coach.
Yeah. It helps your clients. It helps you stay organized, on top of them, not losing anything. It also starts to give you the path to your next steps to keep it simple. Basically, it keeps it simple and easy. That's the way the reason to use it. Plus, the people that do the best coaching use that too. So, Steve, good question. No, I don't like the discussions. And we'll get more into that when we do our next training. We cover the same topics every single time, like questions with the client, like how was their week on plan? Did you learn anything? Did you have any questions? Are you ready for your week ahead? It's going to be in some kind of that kind of format. I do like to have some kind of thought of the week, like to kind of mix it up, unless I'm talking with them about whatever they want to talk about. And yeah, if you want to watch the Habits of Health call and like talk something about that, that's a great reason to talk. And then you can plug the Habits of Health call. So I don't necessarily do that. That's a great idea. Cool, Sonny. I'm glad that answered your question. Trying to think. So back to the thing, the schedule here. If you're going to set your schedule, one, make sure your schedule works for you. It gets to be your schedule. Back to the creating whatever you want to do this year. I've had a couple conversations with a few people who are like, oh man, I guess I'm going to give in and get structured. You don't have to give in. It's your structure. You choose it. So like embrace it and love it. So let me make, someone's unmuted here. So as we kind of wrap up here, 1 second. There we go. So it's your structure. Just make sure you have it. If you want to make sure it lines up with your life and what best things you want, then make sure that happens. But make sure you have a check-in day. Some people have 2. I really think most people can get it done in 1. I support over 25, 30 clients in 1 day. It's doable. Some people are text. Some people leave a voicemail. Some people are that normal 5 to 8 minute call. Some are a few minutes longer. So, that's really key. Have a backup day. So just in case stuff hits the fan, you're like, oh, no sweat. Like, I'll just call them on my backup day. They'll probably know you have that backup day. It makes things very simple. Times and pockets. Actually, let me just pull up the screen real quick because I have a slide on this to like make it really easy for those that are visual on this.
Brad, also, Alejandra asked, if people don't answer, should you still call them? And the answer is yes. So you still going to call and leave a message. Some people do even little videos for them, but you still leave a message.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, if they haven't ordered in 6 months and you're still calling and they haven't done the thing to answer, then maybe you could like do the like, hey, it's not you, it's me, like, love you, you know, but we're, you know, parting ways. Let me know if you need anything. But yeah, keep calling, because you never know who's hanging on your voicemails. And like Ashley Miller always says, like, I'm getting paid really well to make that 1 minute call on that voicemail. So yeah, definitely call. You never know. But here's that layout of the schedule. This is mine personally, but you get to make your own. Again, if you guys do the steps, like, it's so simple. This is where we're going to kind of wrap up with this. Have your intentional time to be making your connections, posting on Facebook. Make sure it's in there. If you got a busy schedule, like Gustavo, he's the newest executive director to hit. He's in his master's program. He's a teacher at school. He's in the play. Denise, he's done something else. And he's still an executive director in his second month. If you find the pockets to do it, it's really easy to do this. You just got to make the connections. So time to make connections each day. Like times when you know you're more available to do calls, so you can just say, yes, this time would work great. Let's talk. Let's connect. Line it up. Time to do your check-ins, so it just becomes mindless. You don't have to think about it. If it's in your schedule, you don't have to think about it. You just do it, and it flows better. Never miss the trainings. That's like the key. That's where the people are that grow. Make your schedule. That would be one thing that I would do, is like, don't start this new year without your schedule intact, or else everything will wither away very quickly. And if you want to revamp it, here's the time to do it. Like, you can start fresh with everyone. Making sure I'm not missing the chat here. Perfect. Okay, caught up on all that stuff. All right, that's pretty much it. Like, did that answer your guys' questions on getting set up for the new year? Like, you guys thinking a little bit bigger, like ready for your momentum a little bit more, like continuing doing what you're doing? Looks like it. Yes, April's nodding. Great stuff.
Brad, this was absolutely wonderful. And even as a seasoned coach, it takes us back to the systems, keeping it simple. I know we keep saying simple, but it is, and reorganizing for the new year. Danae had a great question, besides being my daughter, but she had a great question. How do we organize our coaches, and can that be the next training?
Yes, we need to have that on there. So that actually leads me back to like kind of the wrap up on this. So every single month, take time to assess your business. Like, really assess it, not just do the steps of it. So like when you're doing your map this month, like, don't just fill it out. Like, really, like, look at it. Like, I even recommend a whiteboard to get a little bit more in-depth thinking on it. Look at your potential coaches. Who do you want to be on that? Like, what are the next things your business needed, and obliterate that action that's needed with that stuff by doing the consistent action. With your coaches, definitely the ones you're working with. You're either working with someone or not. You guys are here on this training, like, you know, like in December. Like, you guys know, like, you're the ones that are doing the action in your business. Work with the people that want to do this. Some people come on and they don't want to do the work. Work with the people that are showing up. So at the beginning of each month, look at your coaches, where they're at, and help them take their next step. So like, if someone just went as senior coach, I'm going to show them how to do their map so they can take their next steps with that. So yeah, we can have a more of a training on that. But at the same time you're assessing your month, assess your team and where they're at, and show them their next steps and help them get what they want. That's the way to track it and see where they're at. And then you'll show them one step at a time. Denise, you have anything you want to add to that one?
Brad, it's right on. Keep it simple, just like you said. Inspect what you expect. I had some amazing mentor teach me that, and it is in my brain all the time. What is it that I'm expecting to create?
Yeah. So like, and then here's the other thing too, just because like some of you guys are sponsoring coaches for the first time. As coaches are getting started, because a lot of you guys are new, after someone's had their first month, make sure you don't reach out and say, hey, get your map, let's connect. Like, people don't want another job. Like, as they're coming up, you're guiding them just like you guide your clients. So like, if someone just went senior coach in their business for the first month, make sure at the end of it, they don't know how important it is to connect at the start of next month. Make sure you say, hey, like, Johnny G, great job last month. Like, you not only got senior coach, like, you started 7 clients. Let's connect, and at the start of this month, show you some things to keep it simple, and go after that next step and find out like what you want to do more of. Like, we're not the boss. It's a flow, but they don't know that's important to connect at the beginning of the month to do those next things. So again, make sure it's fun, you're guiding, and that you're showing them one step at a time, and then connecting with them and working with them along the steps. So good. See, I'm just making sure I'm missing anything. And really just partner with your coaches. That's the key. Don't micromanage, show them the path, make the steps are simple. Like you're either doing it or you're not, or you're doing it faster, you're doing it slower, which is still all good. So just make sure that you are partnering with them and not just letting them go. Because no one here, just so you know, for you new coaches, no one just goes forward in their business. It happens from working with your support team. We have a great system. Some of you guys are from have done other businesses before where you're like, the only training I ever got was a video they sent me. No, like literally work with your support team. Like raise your hand. Like April, you raised your hand and said, Lori, Brad, help me. I want to help more people this year. Like we did it. Like today, I remember when you asked the question, I remember when you were like, you got started as a coach. You were like, oh, if I can make $500, that'd be great. I just want to help some people. Like you literally linked arms and said, I want to do this. We helped you do that. I mean, you did the work. But anyway, so for you coaches that have coaches and for you new coaches, linked arms with your support team. It's so vital and key. Just do the simple plug-in points like that. You'll see your business grow. So basically to wrap a pretty bow on today, and I'll stay on for other questions too, because I think there's some other questions that people might want to ask here, is this is your new year, guys. I don't need to tell you guys that. Like literally the cool new ticker in the Connect, it like tells you in real time when people are starting, like it's literally going ping, 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 ping all day long. It's so cool. You guys are out doing the action right now. You've been planting the seeds. We did today to like show you how to keep it simple, keep it really easy. Go do the action steps. So this is what I would encourage you guys today as we kind of wrap up. Your wave's building right now. Don't just think 1 month at a time. Think momentum effect. Your January clients can be maybe people that are awakened to pay it forward or referring people, or are your example of the people that didn't wake up in January. Your February starts building on that. People start joining in from your April, word consistency. Your February gets even bigger if you just stay committed to the next step of growing your business. March comes around, and March is a huge month. So just stay the course, work with your support team. You have you have no idea what's coming with this stuff. So today's training was hopefully helpful for you guys on this. What do you guys think about like a part 2, like just keeping the consistency, like another workshop training next week? Like for that, we'll have coffee and consistency at the end of next month. I know a lot of you guys have asked questions about like, okay, what's this challenge thing? Because Doug was doing some kind of like 28-day challenge. Don't worry about that. That's something he's doing for his client group. We are thinking about playing around with something at the end of this month, but we don't need a challenge to start clients. Reach out to people and invite them to help. If you do the steps every single day, you'll see results. You know, hey, April, you started over 10 clients in December. Did you need a challenge to do that?
Nope.
Yeah, so do the steps on that, but we might have something to play around with at the end of the month just for a welcome start date for everyone. Elevate is on the 13th. So save the date on that. That's just an event, like there's probably an event near you or anything. It's like basically our big launch day. We have like local events. There's something, check with your support team. There's something that day. We're definitely going to throw some money for sponsoring. It's a great sponsoring time because if you have people that are coming up, it's great to bring them on in January, especially right before we start our next training series at the end of the month, that's when we'll start our next training series, Coffee and Consistency. For those that have been part of it, you know how huge it's been. Anyone that tunes in, especially we haven't even done it in the January, February setting. Wait till we do it then. So bring on, make sure you have your partners on integrated and having momentum in their business at that time. That'll be huge. That's pretty much everything right now. If there's any questions, let me know. But right now, you guys, just to hopefully to kind of ease all this talking today, because our business is really, really simple. If you really want to obliterate this new year, is pick that next big goal you want in your business that you started writing down at the beginning of this call. Get really clear on it and connect with your support team on your map. Don't just think about it. Go do it. And I'm preaching to the choir. Some of you have already set that up. So fill out your map and grab your support team. Set that up today so you can really set up your new your month and work with them towards your next steps. Lead with your health, you guys. Right now, I'm encouraging you guys, and again, you guys are probably, a lot of you guys are already ahead of me. Wherever you're at in your health, step something up to the next level right now. Like you just like, that's just what a business is doing when someone's growing, is you're taking your health to the next level. People see it, you feel it, you know it, it's energized, it comes out in your voice. Take your health to the next level starting today if you're not already doing that. Because most of the way people join us is because people want to go with people that are moving forward. That's where you made a decision to get healthy, people want to come with you. Live out your 3, 3, and 3 daily. So basically connect on social media, that list, reach out to that list either intentionally or starting messages or posting on Facebook or starting new conversations, whichever. Just do that, be present on social media, because the more people that see you, that's how they reach out to you. So the more people you reaching out to, the more you're in contact with, it's go time on that. That's literally the basics to be doing. Just commit to the action of staying consistent in your business, you guys. You guys do that, be committed on your goal, know what you want. Literally, it's open season. Go get as many clients as you can. Offer coaching to as many people that are on your list right now. That's the biggest thing to do. And the last thing I'll leave you with here tonight is there is one more trilogy call tonight that's at 6 p.m. For those people that are utilizing that, wrapping up the Dash incentive, or just need another reason to reach out. We made way too much money last year. Our accountants said we need to spend more. So anyone who's on this call right now, Ashley and I will match $25 scholarships for anyone that wants to get started as a coach or a client today till the end of the day. So just set up the account, do that. If that's enough of a reason for someone to start now or start coaching now, there you go. Unlimited. So, but don't be sharing that with anyone. You guys get it because you guys show up. Because you guys show up, your business grows. So this is for you guys that were on here today. So that's what I got for you guys. That's how to be organized. Thank you for everyone that shared the tips. And basically, you guys don't even know the level of killing that you guys are doing right now. I wish you guys could comprehend it, because we've never had a December like this. We've never had December be our biggest month before. The momentum's high. We're just getting started. Commit to what you started writing down on that paper. If you really commit yourself, and when I'm talking about a lot of time, I'm talking about April's word, consistency. If you get your schedule set up and make the connections, you don't have to know who they are today. You don't have to know if they're ready yet, but if you give the time in, it's a given. So that being said, you guys, have fun finishing up the month. Have fun on your reach outs. Think of different ideas. It doesn't have to just be the same old, same old. Literally, just have fun, reach out. Look forward to connecting with many of you that will be reaching out. We're going to be part of that. Let's go take on the new year. Make it your best. This will be your best year yet.
Thanks so much, Brad. This was awesome. I'm pumped up.
Thank you, Brad.
Seriously. Thank you.
Great call. Thank you so much.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Guys, happy New Year.
You guys.
Thanks, Brad. Happy
Thank
New
you,
Year.
Brad. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, go make those connections, you guys. Go have fun. Get in contact with people. Invite them in. Have fun. I'll stay on for a little later if anyone had any specific questions on anything. Have a great last couple of days of your new year. Or of your 2017.
Hey, Brad.
Yep.